You have the floor,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much for this opportunity.
Merci pour m'avoir donné
As
cette
I'm listening to what's
opportunité.
happening in
Au
Morocco,
fur
it
et à
sounds
mesure
a little bit like Boston too. So let me tell
que
you a little
j'entendais
bit
ce que se
about
disait à propos du
Boston and
Maroc,
how
c'est plus ou moins ce que nous avons à Boston, hein.
Boston is the
Alors, Boston,
birthstone of public education. So
c'est
the
là
first
où est
public
née
school
l'école.
is here in Boston, Boston Latin School, and the first elementary school is also here in Boston, as it's the birthplace, right? Even for the birthplace of special education is here in Boston. So Boston really is a unique city, not only because of education, as you can imagine, we have over 50 universities and colleges just here in this little bitty town, right? It's a very small space. We're very crowded, and it houses probably the biggest minds in education. But we also have the center of health. A lot of people come to Boston for medical services. So, as you can imagine, from all over the world, we get families that come here for medical care, for education. And we have in Boston Public Schools over 139 countries represented in our schools. So that gives us the uniqueness of languages. I am originally from Puerto Rico, so I am a bilingual school psychologist. I speak Spanish, only speak Spanish and English, not like my friend here, Evangeline, who speaks multiple languages. But that also brings a uniqueness to our schools. We have what we call 9 major languages in Boston. That means that we have over 100 families that speak those 9 major languages. So we have Haitian Creole, we have Chinese in the 3 dialects, Cantonese, Mandarin, and Toishanese. We have Arabic families, we have, and their dialects. We have Somalians, we have French, we have, and I wrote them down because I knew I was going to forget them, Russian, we have sign language, and then we have a variety, German and Italian, and I can go on forever. But that brings a uniqueness of who we are, right? And then not just the languages, but the cultural piece, right? And each of us bring our cultures to the city. And you can look at a map of Boston and you can identify the North End is Italian, the West Roxbury is Greek, right? And so that also brings the cultures and the religion and the food. And it's just amazing who we are as a city. But that also then to try to educate everyone, we have to take into consideration all of those pieces. But historically, we've also been a very segregated city, right? Because the Italians live here and the Irish live over there and the Chinese are over here. How do we integrate all of that? And we all bring our uniqueness into play. So bringing all of those cultures and languages into our educational system has also brought some tensions in trying to integrate that. So as I'm listening to what's happening in Morocco, that has also happened here. We have a high rate of students not wanting to come to school after COVID. COVID really brought us a lot of tension. Kids were very afraid. Families were very afraid. And that we still see, that anxiety level we still see. So what have we done here in Boston? We've tried, we can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. So we have created what we called a safe and supportive school because there are 2 places that students feel that should feel the best and the most supportive at: home, because that's where they spend a lot of time at, and school, right? They should come to school and feel that they are cared for, accepted, welcomed. And if they don't feel in either place supported and really accepted, we have a problem, right? That's where mental health starts to deteriorate. When I can't be at home and accepted and welcomed, or I can't go to school and feel accepted and welcome, that's where kids don't want to go to school, don't want to be at home, don't feel bullied, right? That's when it starts to break apart. So we've started an initiative, and I'm talking about at least 20 years ago, Safe and Supported Schools. And we bring everyone into this mix, right? Here in Boston, we bring in all of our partnerships from the city. I'm talking about universities. I'm talking about the police. I'm talking about libraries, and the city will provide us with free library services, free summer programs, free services around crisis intervention. So we communicate and build all of these services to provide mental health and provide anything that students need. Mentorship programs, big brother, big sister, to provide everything we can to support families. Low and reduced after school care programs. We do that with all sorts of religious programs around the city to build after school programs for kids. So if they can't go home because mom and dad work, then we have all these after school care programs, right? So we have that support system in place. We also have university programs. For example, for the summer, if kids need to work or do extra credit summer programs to get college credits, they do that here as well. Because the colleges are closed for the summer, then we use their facilities to work around that. We also have programs for families who'd like to learn English. We set that up with libraries. All our libraries offer English courses for families, all for free. So that's really a valuable connection with our community. Here in the schools, we have family liaisons, which are sometimes social workers, sometimes just community partners. And we try to connect with people who speak multiple languages so they can help our families in their language to connect with all the community resources. So that family liaison will have activities in the building to really connect families and really engage them. So we'll have a family breakfast to have families come in and learn what the school has to offer. So sometimes we'll have families come in and read books in their language to the class. Or we'll have families come in and help in the library or take attendance or help with the bus arrival and dismissal. Because that could be a little chaotic sometimes, right? Kids are trying to get to their buses. Or maybe set up an activity, right? If we're celebrating a holiday. We love to have families come in and share their culture with us. So if it's a religious holiday, we bring the families in, we bring food from different cultures. So really engaging families, that's creating a safe and supportive school climate. We do that in all levels, from elementary all the way to high school, right? Trying to engage children, trying to engage families as well. So we do that in all like I said, on all levels. We also try to do a lot of activities in every language that we can. So we have interpreters that facilitate activities, but we also have in our school psych department, right now we have 30 school psychologists that speak another language, which is amazing because then we do a lot of activities that we do it in the language of the families and we videotape it. So during COVID, we spent a lot of time doing short videos for families in different languages and helping them to become teachers because during COVID, school went home and families were expected to run school at home. Parents aren't teachers, right? So we taught them how do you set up a classroom in your living room? Because not everybody has space for that, right? How do you make sure kids attend school? How do you make sure that kids set up agendas to do their homework? How do you get them out of bed, especially the high schoolers, right? So we did all of this in different languages and we put it out in our website And parents could choose, oh, I need some structure around getting my kid out of bed and making sure they did work. And we had it in our 9 major languages. So parents could click it and read it. How do I get my kid to follow rules? How do I get my kid to shower? And you might think that's pretty silly, but they're at home playing video games till 3 in the morning. How do I do that? And we had it on our website in different languages, making things accessible to families. That was such a big hit. We even went on TV. We have a Haitian Creole TV station, and we were able to do that on TV. During COVID, we had to be very, very creative. We've also had lots of activities for families. After COVID, we started to celebrate outside, outdoors, and really bringing families. So back to my school psychologist, we do assessments in multiple languages. We do mental health prevention. So we've created mindfulness activities, teaching children how to manage stress. So I've heard from one of our presenters here around anxiety before exams. So we do, how do I deal with anxiety before the exam? How to reduce my anxiety? What is causing this anxiety? Why do I have anxiety? Right? What are some of the breathing exercises that I can do before the test? Because everybody wants to get into Harvard, right? How do I manage this anxiety? So we teach children that. We have curriculums for that. And so not everybody has to go to Harvard, right? But then how do I manage that? So we do a lot of preventive work. Our
في
school
ناس تخسر
I
قليلا
know.
أستاذ.
Okay.
في ناس
And
تخسر.
I can talk about it in my next section, but we do a lot of preventive work. Our school psychologists are trained in prevention. And so those are tiered supports that I can go into that in our next section.